Hi everyone, I am Mrs. Zellmer and I'm going to be either your anatomy and physiology teacher or your advanced biology teacher this year. And I wanted to put out this video to introduce myself mask-free. That's really honestly the main reason that I'm doing this. I typically would not make a little introductory video. We would just meet on the first day, but considering we're only going to see half of each other's faces, I figured this was a good idea. I do know that my mouth is not moving with the sound, so I'm fully aware of that. So just bear with me on that, okay? And then I figured I'd tell you a couple things about myself, and then I have some things I want to go over in a little bit more detail than I would like to spend in class, just strictly because we are limited with this hybrid start. So that being said, this is my 20th year at Hoover High School, and in that time I've taught advanced biology, anatomy and physiology, and biology. And I've got a bachelor's in zoology from Auburn University and a master's in biology from UNC Wilmington. So that's just a little bit about me. I'm going to kind of refer to both of my course syllabi, okay, the classroom policies and procedures and strategies for success. So if I look down, it's just that I'm making sure that I'm kind of checking off mentally what I need to say for each. They read pretty much the same, but there are a couple of places where I'll say like anatomy specific or biology specific. So just bear with me on that, okay? So to start with, the biology one mentions a few things about the course and some major units of study, but then for both of them, they mention what you need to bring to class as far as supplies. So that being said, I know this is weird here, and you may think, oh, I don't need typical school supplies, but you do, okay? And so everything that I'm giving you is if we were starting school, quote unquote, normally, right? And obviously we would all love to be here 5 days a week, or well, I would love to be here 5 days a week. And so you need to have supplies as if we were, and you need to have them at school and at home. So that being said, the first day of school, you need to bring a binder, you need to have some paper in that binder, you need to have your planner, and then you need to have a pen and a pencil, okay? And then if you look at my supply list, there are some other things on there. I would bring my Chromebook, obviously, the first day too, especially because of this crazy year. And make sure it's charged, or bring your charger and hope you can plug it in somewhere if need be, but you need to plan to bring it charged every day. That being said, if there's a school supply that you can't get for me, please let me know and I will help you with that. Or if it was for some other class and you just needed some help, let me know. I promise that I will help with that if need be, but hopefully you can get the supplies yourselves if you can. Okay, so classroom rules, they read a little bit differently on each document, but they both start with being to class on time with all of your necessary materials, ready to learn, to strive for excellence, to show me greatness every day. I have really high expectations of you, and essentially that starts with you being here and being ready to learn, okay? And tardies do count, and just according to the school tardy policy, and I do count them. I know sometimes people always say like, oh, so-and-so doesn't count tardies. Well, I do, so just be prepared. That being said, the other things are just to be respectful of me and your classmates, and materials, COVID procedures, being masked, things like that are going to be new this year. Be on task, do what I ask of you, especially this year because it's going to be kind of crazy, and we need to make sure we're really toeing the line. If you notice on, again, both documents that you are expected to complete your own work for accuracy in and outside of class. So what that means is you need to try to get the answers right, okay, and we're going to grade for accuracy, but also that you're doing your own work. And if there's an incidence of academic dishonesty, then zeros will be assigned for that, okay, and administration will be involved and parents notified and all that if necessary. Let's see, we're not going to eat or drink in here. You can carry a water bottle that you can fill at the filling stations, but the water fountains will not be activated this year. And then you are responsible, it mentions just Hoover City Schools Code of Conduct, Hoover High School rules, and then classroom rules that I set forth. Let's see, devices, let me go ahead and hit that. So no earbuds and earphones and all that once you're in the building. So make sure we are thinking about that unless you're using them for direct instruction. And then no cell phones, smartwatches, things like that are to be used or out and in sight during class. And that's always been my rule. So essentially the way I want you to think is that on Thursday before you get here, you've already put your phone and if you have a smartwatch, in your backpack with them turned off so that they don't disrupt class. And that's going to be the expectation in my room every single day, okay? And you're going to keep your backpacks. I think right now my plan is that because we're on this staggered start, that your backpack is going to sit in the chair next to you at your table, because I have tables in my room. Because nobody will be sitting next to you on this staggered start. So anyway, that being said, more about that, but just make sure you're prepared to have phones and watches and whatnot off and put away. Assignment due dates and notice about those reads pretty much the same. Essentially, you just need to be really on top of Google Classroom, your email, what teachers are saying in class. You'll figure it out for each class, but this kind of reads like what goes in, or what I say in class is what goes more than on Google Classroom, but we're going to see that it's going to be a balance between the two this year, and that Google Classroom, is going to have to reflect those changes that might happen in class. You'll see what I mean when you read that. And then notice too that it does say at the very end, it says electronic assignments may be due on a Saturday or a Sunday in preparation for moving forward with specific in-class instruction, especially if we're doing some sort of lab or activity on a Monday or Tuesday, and that I need you to turn something in for preparation for that. And that is one of my goals. I probably should have said that at the beginning. Hopefully when we are together, we can actually do some things more. Science is not going to be the same this year by any means, but my goal is for us to do something together as much as we can. It's not going to happen every day, but just know that I want you to be able to kind of pretend that we're in science and we're getting to do. So anyway, more to come on that. Let's see, next, for anatomy, if you look at the bottom of your document, for classroom policies, it mentions how to log on to the electronic textbook. If you'll go ahead and do that for me, that would be great. You're going to get a hard copy on Thursday or Friday, whichever day you're coming to school, and that hard copy is going to stay at home, but you can go ahead and access the book. And the biology, you do not have a book. You have resources that I will push to you. We adopted a resource that is not a textbook, and I will explain that more eventually. Long story. Okay, so then grading. So your grade breakdown for each course is different for anatomy and biology both, or advanced biology both. Your largest percentage of points is going to come from major assessments, so make sure that you're paying attention to that. And then look at the fact that the remaining smaller percentages are broken up accordingly, and obviously there's going to be some things that are a little bit different this year with some stuff being hybrid. Don't worry about that too much, but that just gives you your grade breakdown. And then let's see, both underneath the grading assignment section and then the policy concerning missing homework and in-class assignments is that I do not take late work. So assignments are going to be due when they're due, without exception. And if you have 3 zeros, then typically I say you're going to go to Saturday school. If you have 3 zeros, of course, they may not run Saturday school. I have absolutely no clue what's going to happen with that as far as when I'm making this video. And so we will cross that bridge, but just know that if there's no Saturday school, then that there will be referral to the administration instead, and we'll kind of cross that bridge. But basically, nobody's going to get a 0 for me is what the bottom line is there. Okay, so work's due when it's due without exception. On both documents, you've got your Google Classroom information, but if you've gotten to this video, then you're there. It mentions my email, my classroom, room number, C328, okay, and just essentially how to contact me. For this particular document, you're going to do an e-signature in a Google form for me, and you're also going to do an e-signature in a Google form. I'm trying to find my safety contract. For the safety contract, which essentially looks like this for both courses. Right next to my finger where you can kind of see the highlighting, that's probably the biggest thing for a lot of people, is that if I tell you to dress for lab, you have to be in pants that go to the floor, like a long pair of jeans, for example, and closed-toed shoes, such as tennis shoes. It's pretty simple. The top part of this is a bunch of always statements. The middle part's nevers, and then the bottom part is some things that are specific to life sciences. And when you read through this, a lot of it's super common sense. There are a few specific things that I will mention in my room as far as materials that we have And then when we go to lab, then I'll point out where safety equipment like showers and eye wash and things like that are located. Just know that obviously with this hybrid thing going on, that stuff is going to be a little bit different with labs. And again, kind of one of those things, we'll cross that bridge, but we're signing, or you are signing, and your parents are signing electronically for this safety contract instead, and the syllabus, instead of signing on paper. Just again, to kind of spend a little bit less class time dealing with that. And so that Google form, you should be able to take care of that after you've carefully read through both of these and clearly understand the expectations and what you're signing for. Don't sign if until you've read through them, please. Okay, that's just kind of a general rule. A couple other things. So if it's not on Google Classroom by the time I post this video, I've got a list of just helpful tips, both for school in general, some things I was thinking just that with this hybrid start might be a little bit more helpful. Like, you are going to have to be more self-sufficient. You're going to have to step up your game as a student, whether you're an incoming freshman or you're a junior or senior in either of these courses that I'm teaching. So if that's not already on there, it's going to be on there. And as far as just kind of some tips and something for you to reflect on and maybe use. So that being said, I'm going to pause for just a second. All right, so that being said about those tips, it literally is basically, it says tips for success at Hoover High School, and I've got kind of a rough draft that I printed out sitting in front of me. And so just be looking for that, okay? And then other things, basically the bottom line is Thursday or Friday. When you come in, we'll deal with seating. We'll talk about some of this COVID procedure stuff that we've got to deal with. We're all going to have our masks on, and we'll take roll, all that kind of stuff. And then I'm going to push some things to you. If you're in anatomy, you're going to get your textbook and you're going to get some other paper. If you're in biology, you're basically going to get paper. It's going to be some notes, some upcoming assignments, and things like that. I am one to like paper and to like binders, and so if we were here every single day, you would have essentially, in the grand scheme of things, more paper, but coming at you a little bit more slowly. But I'm going to push a lot to you on Thursday and Friday, so I want you to be kind of prepared for that. But then I'm going to ask you to just do exactly what I'm asking you to do, and not to flip through it and ask tons of questions about things that I'm not ready for you to ask. We're going to hit the high points on things like that I don't take late work, that I expect you to be here on time, I expect you to show me greatness, I expect you to do your own work for accuracy, no devices, things like that. We're going to hit those high points again, and you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, she's driving me nuts because she said all this in the video and now she's saying it again. But those are some of the critical things we have to hit, like safety drills and things like that, of course, as we typically do in the first few days. But I'm going to try to maximize my time with you and to get us into some science pretty quickly. So just be prepared for paper on Thursday, Friday that is starting you on assignments that will be due next week. And be looking on Google Classroom and whatnot. Things are going to be there, already ready for you to start to take care of some things pretty quickly, okay? So that being said, I feel like I probably repeated myself at some point, which is not shocking. And then also, in the grand scheme of things, I probably forgot something. Again, not shocking right now. We have a lot to figure out, obviously, about this year. And if you do have a question after after watching and listening to this, and reading things and whatnot, and you feel like it's really critical, shoot me an email and let me know. But keep in mind that there are some things that, one, that I can't answer, and two, that if it's not super critical for you to know before we meet, then that I'm working really hard to get ready for you, and that maybe you should just kind of, let me see if I can figure this out, or whatever the case may be. But again, things are kind of constantly changing around here, as we have learned since March, that life is changing daily in so many crazy ways. But that being said, just know that even if you ask me a question, it may be a question that I can't honestly really answer. I am looking forward to this year, as weird as it will be. I love my job. I expect great things of you. I'm tough. I know that about myself, and my reputation precedes me. But that being said, I have your best interest at heart, and I want you to grow as a student. I want you to grow as a person in general, from me kind of pushing you a little bit. And so just get ready. I'm excited, or as excited as I can be, about us being masked and doing this. So whenever you're watching this, enjoy the rest of your day, evening, morning, whatever it happens to be, and just know I'm ready to do the best I can by you in anatomy or in advanced biology come Thursday. Bye.